Hey everyone, this is Gavin here at the Texas Toy Museum at our Fanboy TV South by Southwest live coverage, and I'm joined by an amazing woman I can't wait to talk to. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, Elizabeth Carroll, director and producer of Nothing Fancy, Diana Kennedy.
Okay, so I had no idea what I was walking into when I watched this movie. I just knew it was about an old lady in Mexico who likes to cook. That's literally all that I knew. So how did you before I even get to that, tell everyone what this movie's about and about a sinister too.
Okay, so Diana Kennedy is a British woman who met her husband in Haiti. They fell madly in love. He happened to be the New York Times correspondent to Mexico. So she ended up getting there. Tragically, a lot of interesting things happened, but basically she ended up mastering Mexican cuisine and writing 9 cookbooks. She's won awards from the Mexican government, the British government, James Beard Awards. She's won every food award that you can possibly imagine, and she's a feisty, fiery woman.
That's saying the least. How did you discover her? Like when you were like, I need to make a film about this. What was that moment like?
Well, it was just very synchronistic. It was like I was living here in Austin, and I really wanted to meet her. I really wanted to interview her for a broader project that I was working on about women in Mexico. And so when I found her, I was like, okay, well, first of all, this woman's amazing. How do I not know about her already? And she's a white woman, and she's done, she's not even Mexican. Like, how does this work? I was just kind of like very, very fascinated and curious about her. And then I was like, people need to know about this person, I think. And so, but then I didn't even know how to get in touch with her. I had no idea how to contact her. And I ended up going to Book People later that day, and I pulled into the parking lot, and the marquee said, book signing with Diana Kennedy tomorrow.
Now, if there was not a bigger sign than that, I don't know what. So following her around, were you prepared for all of that? Like, were you prepared for her feistiness and her get-goedness and her just stick-to-itiveness?
I mean, I think that's what I liked about her in the first place. That's what drew me to her, was that spirit, that like youthful, rebellious, take no prisoners spirit. I was definitely on the wrong end of it plenty of times, which was like a good lesson in many ways on how to tiptoe around. It's certain times of day, you can tell she's in a certain mood, and then you kind of like be as gentle as possible. But no, I wasn't prepared at all, but I was also obsessed with her. Yeah.
So what was it like following her around at her house and seeing how she does everything, from someone that you're like, I got to do this, then to being in the real world and seeing like, how does she do all of this? Like,
oh my
she's
God,
like 95, right?
She's 96. Yeah.
96.
No.
Like, just following her around. What was it like?
Well, the first time I came to her house, it felt like kind of an out of body experience. I was there and I was so nervous, and I was just like, but it also felt, I don't know, it felt like this like other world. And she was just like, hi. And I was like, oh my God, this is real. This like fairy tale land that I've been dreaming about is a real place. And it was amazing. I mean, she lives completely sustainably. She really practices what she preaches. She's a hardcore environmentalist and recycles everything, grows all of her own food, and uses basically no electricity, recycles her rainwater.
And she's trying to create a lasting legacy that's going to go past her.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think part of that is the books and all the all of the contributions that she's made, all the research that she's done in Mexican cuisine has a massive impact on the way that people are able to, access Mexican cuisine for the home cook or for the chef or for whomever, somebody who's just interested. But I think part of it is the anthropological element of it for her, because she's made a massive impact anthropologically for Mexico, and the documentation and everything of it. And then also, I think it is that feisty, fiery, rebellious spirit that for me is what's going to live on about her too, and it's about protection and preservation of our past and our future as well,
Please tell me she cooked for you.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to eat some of her food. Yeah.
What was the favorite thing that she made that you just loved?
She made pollo con mole verde, which was, chicken with green mole, and it was exceptional. And then also these tortas. She made us these sandwiches with like black beans and tomatoes she grew in her garden, and like ham and this fresh farmer's cheese and these giant rolls, and she's just like, eat it all. And she was like, you know, being like the Italian Nona, like forcing us to finish it. It was amazing.
I imagine that her food spoiled you on Mexican food, so there's no more Taco Bell on the menu for you anymore.
Well, there never really was in the first place. I guess I was like kind of always a food snob from my early days. Not really even because my parents or anything were like, you should eat this way, but I got really into food, and once I understood, you know, the importance of choosing your food and that your consumer's choices as an eater, you know, make farms function the way they do, or it makes the industrial food system function the way it does. So once I discovered organic food was a thing and that local food was a thing, I kind of just doubled down.
That's what it's like. So where can people see this film at South by, and even after South by? Like, are people just excited to see it?
Yeah, well, the reception's been really good so far. Thankfully, my family is here. My friends are here, so they've been very supportive, too. But so we have our final screening Wednesday night, 9 p.m. at AFS Satellite Theater. And then after that, we're going to be at the San Francisco International Film Festival mid-April. Then we'll be at Hot Docs at the end of April. And then a few other festivals internationally from there.
I've heard a lot about Hot Docs this year. I guess it's an all-documentary film festival?
Yeah.
That's got to be amazing. Like, I love documentary films because you get to go to these new worlds and experience new things. And like I said, when I walked into this movie, I didn't know what to expect. But that's why I love things like this. Film festivals, I think, are super important, especially for films like this, because you get to experience something you weren't expecting.
Totally. So,
is this your first South by?
Yes.
What have you experienced that you weren't expecting?
Oh God, like people DMing me on Instagram out of nowhere who I haven't spoken to in like 15 years. And they're like, hey, we're here. Can we get a ticket? And I'm just like, oh my God. And I like forgot to invite really important people. And I feel really bad about that. But it all just kind of, it's just a tunnel. It's like you get in and you just have to stay on the ride.
You're here, you're on South by time. You don't make a plan. You just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
That's how it ends up coming at the end of the day. So thank you for coming and being on our final interview from South by Southwest. We went out with a bang. I'm telling you, this movie is awesome. This woman, I liked what she was walking around with, counting with the leaves to know. You've got to see this movie and go get her cookbooks and learn to cook really, really good Mexican food. So thank you for being at South by, and thank you guys for tuning in for all of our fun South by interviews. We will be back next year at the same location, Texas Toy Museum. We've already decided, so bigger, better things in the future. We will have more South by coverage on our Facebook page throughout the week. So thank you guys again. Have an amazing South by.
Thank you so much.
And that's it. That's a wrap for Fanboy TV's interviews. We'll see you all next year.